Luo Shasha thanks him for his help, but Shen Shi remarks that even though he said he is not too young, calling him Lord is still a bit much. She thanks him again anyway, and although he finds the way she addresses him somewhat interesting, he decides to ignore it since they still have something else to deal with. The cultivator quickly introduces himself as Feng Daiquan, revealing that his master is Feng Dingshan, an outer elder of Ding sect. He pleads for Shen Shi to spare him, promising that once he returns to the sect, he will hand over his treasures, while insisting that Lei Kai has nothing to do with him. Lei Kai immediately protests that Feng Daiquan was given his family's spirit-gathering green lotus seed, questioning how he can abandon him now. Feng Daiquan fires back that Lei Kai is a bastard and denies ever receiving the spirit-gathering green lotus seed. Without hesitation, he throws his sword at Lei Kai. Lei Kai is alarmed, but he cannot react in time and freezes in place. Before the blade can reach him, Shen Shi suddenly breaks the sword in half. The backlash makes Feng Daiquan cough up blood before dropping to his knees in pain. Shen Shi coldly questions whether Feng Daiquan remembers being allowed to move. Feng Daiquan immediately begs him to calm down, while wondering what kind of sword Shen Shi possesses if it can split his own blade in two with a single blow. Meanwhile, Shen Shi considers his weapons. The jade bamboo sword is his signature sword, so he cannot reveal it. But the blue lake sword is different. Although it is only profound grade, in this beginner map where spirit grade treasures are rare, it is useful for almost anything, making it worthy of being called his hidden trump card. He recalls that back then, if the group from the novel had not jumped out to block the sword for Xiaoqi, he could have killed him easily. Yet now, a boss like him is wandering around here. So naturally, they should all be afraid. Feng Daiquan continues insisting that he never took Lei Kai's spirit-gathering green lotus seed and claims Lei Kai is only trying to frame him. Hearing this, Shen Shi decides to enjoy the feeling of playing the villain for once. He declares that there is no problem, and whoever hands him the spirit-gathering green lotus seed first within 20 breaths will be spared. Feng Daiquan immediately forms an evil smirk, while Lei Kai becomes alarmed. He charges straight toward Lei Kai with sharp aura surrounding him, but he fails to notice the arrows already flying his way. Feng Daiquan grunts in pain as Lei Kai's arrows strike him, leaving him stunned before he crashes to the ground without finishing what he was about to say. Lei Kai quickly presents the spirit-gathering green lotus seed to Shen Shi, politely claiming that he has found it. However, Shen Shi points out that there are still 5 breaths remaining. At that moment, Feng Daiquan suddenly drives his sword into Lei Kai from behind, making Lei Kai cough up blood. Feng Daiquan mocks his naivety and questions whether he truly believed the refining chi stage and foundation building stage were the same. He then takes the spirit-gathering green lotus seed and offers it to Shen Shi. Shen Shi accepts the result and confirms that, as agreed, he will not kill him. Feng Daiquan immediately thanks Shen Shi for sparing his life, but before he can finish, Baiji Shui slashes across his throat. Blood runs down Feng Daiquan's neck as Baiji Shui recalls his sword. Luo Shasha quickly apologizes to Shen Shi for overstepping her boundaries, but Shen Shi dismisses it, explaining that he only said he would not kill Luo Shasha, so dying in Luo Shasha's hands has nothing to do with him. Since he is already helping her, he naturally has no reason to be stubborn over something so minor. Baiji Shui then hands Shen Shi the item that restrained him earlier, explaining that it is Luo Shasha's treasure. Shen Shi is surprised to discover that it is the Earth Binding Lock, a highest spirit-grade treasure. He explains that he has already removed its prohibitions and divine thoughts, so Baiji Shui can keep it and use it himself, though he should be careful not to cause any deaths with it. Once the restrictions are gone, Baiji Shui sees that it truly is highest spirit grade and insists that something this valuable is too much for him to accept. Shen Shi cuts the matter short, explaining that he does not like that kind of thing anyway. Since he has already helped them survive this crisis, their fate has been fulfilled, and because he still has his own matters to handle, he intends to leave. Inwardly, he enjoys the feeling that his aura now resembles that of a sage and a top expert of the world. They should not become infatuated with her, because he is only a legend. However, Yuting suddenly calls out for Shen Shi to stop. She questions whether he is still heading to Duanli Mountain and suggests that, if he does not mind, he can ride in the carriage and travel with them. Luo Shasha adds that they still have not properly thanked Shen Shi, so they can slowly go through the details during the journey. Shen Shi looks doubtful and is left speechless, but after a moment, he quickly agrees. Not long afterward, Luo Shasha and her group resume their journey. Inside the carriage, Yuting and Luo Shasha are both flustered as Yuting keeps calling for Shen Shi. The two of them feed Shen Shi, and he comments that it is very sweet. During the trip, Shen Shi brings up that he heard Luo Shasha plans to send Yuting to the Yuhua sect as a disciple. Luo Shasha confirms it, while Baiji Shui explains that Yuting has good cultivation talent, so while she is still young, she should try to seize the opportunity. Yuting protests that she will soon be 14 years old, meaning she is already a big girl, and ordinary girls begin getting married at her age. Shen Shi agrees that Yuting is not small anymore while looking at her chest. He then explains that Baiji Shui is only a casual cultivator, so he knows one side of the matter, but not the other. Since the Yuhua sect is dominated by female cultivators, sending Yuting there might appear safer. But the sect actually practices the dual cultivation method. Yuting wonders what the dual cultivation method is. Shen Shi explains that it is not suitable for children and promises to tell her another time before deciding to examine her aptitude first. Yuting agrees. A short while later, she feels something warm entering her body. It feels hot, yet strangely comfortable, while Shen Shi instructs her not to move around because it will be over soon. Luo Shasha becomes flustered as she watches them. Once the process ends, Yuting is completely out of it. Shen Shi looks closely at the disoriented Yuting resting on his lap and discovers that she possesses an extremely rare empty spiritual root constitution. Shen Shi considers the empty spiritual root. If possessing all 5 spiritual roots makes someone mortal, then the empty spiritual root is essentially the constitution of an immortal, naturally born with the potential to ascend. It can easily store the energy of both heaven and earth, and there is no so-called bottleneck. However, the empty spiritual root has no attributes, which means it cannot mobilize attribute-based spiritual power. Even if Yuting cultivates, she can only use spiritual power to strengthen her physique and improve her health. The real problem is how the cultivation world views such a constitution. Someone with an empty spiritual root usually has only one ending, becoming a battery and an excellent dual cultivation body. Countless top immortal sects would covet her constitution and use Yuting to break through into higher realms, something capable of driving cultivators crazy. Yuting then wonders about her aptitude, and Shen Shi responds that her talent is good before offering to take her as his disciple. Yuting is surprised by the sudden offer but immediately agrees. Since she is now his disciple, Shen Shi instructs her to carefully remember what comes next. First, he will teach Yuting how to cultivate, but she absolutely cannot reveal her identity as a cultivator or expose her cultivation to outsiders. Second, he will not constantly remain beside her to teach her, meaning she will often need to learn on her own, though he will establish cultivation benchmarks for her. Third, no matter what problem she encounters, she can contact him at any time. He will give her a messenger stone, and once she activates it, he will aid her as soon as possible. When Shen Shi checks whether she understands, Yuting confirms that she does. Looking at his new disciple, Shen Shi finds that having a normal and cute disciple like Yuting feels surprisingly good. It is completely unlike the reset at home, where one is an M, another is a schemer, and there is also a giant baby and a boy, leaving him wondering how he is even supposed to cultivate. Shen Shi then warns Luo Shasha that Yuting's constitution is special. If it is exposed carelessly, it could bring death to the entire family, so Yuting must never display her cultivation. Luo Shasha recognizes how dangerous the situation is, but Shen Shi reassures her that he will handle everything and even prepare another layer of insurance. With that, Shen Shi contacts Baiji Shui. Baiji Shui wonders what guidance Shen Shi has for him, while Shen Shi immediately points out that his cultivation technique is incomplete and is consuming his lifespan. Although foundation-building cultivators can normally live for 200 years, Baiji Shui's remaining time is already running short, so Shen Shi proposes a deal. Baiji Shui admits that nothing seems capable of escaping Shen Shi's eyes and wants to know what he needs to do. Shen Shi gives him a Yuanling pill. Besides the spiritual energy and vitality contained inside, taking it for the first time should extend Baiji Shui's lifespan by 10 years. Shen Shi will also help complete his cultivation technique, and if Baiji Shui spends those 10 years cultivating diligently, breaking through to the late stage of foundation building should be possible. Once that happens, he could gain another 100 years of life. Baiji Shui is completely stunned. What Shen Shi has given him is practically a new life, so regardless of the request, he declares that he will not refuse under any circumstances and will undertake the matter fearlessly. Satisfied, Shen Shi gives him one condition. For the next 10 years, Baiji Shui must become an existence that protects Muling Castle, and whenever Muling Castle needs him, he must do everything within his power to help. Baiji Shui immediately agrees. Meanwhile, Luo Shasha considers Yuting extremely fortunate to have become Shen Shi's disciple. She no longer has to send her to Yuhua sect or be separated from her, so, from now on, Yuting only needs to listen to her master. Yuting then reminds Luo Shasha about a story she once shared, where immortals are open-minded and do not follow worldly etiquette, meaning a master and disciple can become a cultivation couple, and even siblings can become a cultivation couple. Luo Shasha immediately wonders what Yuting is thinking, while Shen Shi clears his throat. Left awkwardly speechless by the situation, Yuting immediately wonders when he came back, while Luo Shasha remarks that he truly is extraordinary for being able to come and go without a trace. Shen Shi, meanwhile, cannot help wondering why taking in disciples somehow keeps making it feel like he is building a harem. He then reveals that Baiji Shui has agreed to protect Muling Castle, and with him there, not many people will be capable of threatening them. Luo Shasha knows Baiji Shui is a cultivator in the foundation building realm, and even getting him to descend the mountain required a great deal of effort. Yet now, he has agreed so easily to become their protector, leaving her wondering exactly how powerful Shen Shi truly is. Shen Shi then declares that there is no longer any need to visit Yuhua sect, so they should return, while he will personally make a trip to Muling Castle later. Yuting leans closer and stares intently at Shen Shi while calling him her master. Shen Shi remarks that there is no need to stare because this is not his real face, though before leaving, he will let her see it. He begins removing his disguise, and both Luo Shasha and Yuting watch intently. Once Shen Shi reveals his real face, he reminds Yuting that she is a good disciple and that the technique has already been passed on to her. She only needs to cultivate properly, and he will come looking for her soon. Both Luo Shasha and Yuting are left flustered, their mouths agape as they stare at Shen Shi. Without lingering any longer, Shen Shi quickly flies away from the carriage and heads toward his destination. He has already wasted too much time and needs to hurry, but he calculates that he should still be able to arrive within 2 days. Days later, Shen Shi reaches Duanli Mountain. The mountain is ominous, with no human habitation within 100 miles and countless poisonous snakes and beasts living throughout the forest. More importantly, it is also home to the Qinglin poisonous toad, whose strength is equivalent to the Nascent Soul stage. Shen Shi recalls that every 5-element fruit, produced by a 5-element tree, can enhance the quality of a cultivator's spiritual root, while demonic beasts at the Nascent Soul stage can use the fruit to be reborn with a human form. Because of that, the Qinglin poisonous toad must be guarding the fruit while waiting for it to ripen. However, Shen Shi has little interest in the fruit itself. His real target is the 5-element stone buried beneath the tree, which can balance the 5 elements and store 5-element spiritual power, making it the foundation Xiao Qir needs to cultivate. Killing a nascent soul stage demonic beast would not be difficult for him, but doing one thing less is still better than doing one thing more. Instead of fighting, he plans to simply collect the stone after the beast leaves. On the first day, the Qinglin poisonous toad guards the tree without moving, while Shen Shi leisurely lies on the grass. On the second day, the Qinglin poisonous toad remains in the same place, and Shen Shi continues waiting. By the nth day, the Qinglin poisonous toad is still guarding the tree, while Shen Shi is already lying face down on the ground. At this point, Shen Shi notices that the Qinglin poisonous toad eats, sleeps, eats again, and never leaves the same spot, making it almost exactly like him. Even if he continues waiting, the beast probably will not move a single step, leaving him to consider whether he should simply kill it by force. He immediately rejects that option. Forcefully killing it is definitely not the right solution, especially when his dignity is involved. Then another possibility comes to mind. His specialty is traps and illusions, and since the Qinglin poisonous toad is so lazy, it probably has tastes similar to his own. Soon, the sound of a female poisonous toad's croak draws the male poisonous toad's attention. The female poisonous toad created by Shen Shi then smiles at the male poisonous toad after successfully catching his attention.